everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45, but you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
We find our nation on a precipice, true tipping point. Is this the moment that will finally change our country?
Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell the storm I'm new. I'ma rain on this little love. Tell the sweet I'm new.
It's not a broken system. It was built to function exactly as it is.
We must respond with bold action.
This is our country too. We can build new systems that do what they should.
I'm a walk, I'm a march on the regular.
We are united. We are standing.
Follow away.
And we are going to fight this fight.
Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I break chains all by myself.
There is something happening across this country.
When we work and when we fight and when we march and when we speak up and when we offer solutions, we win.
I'ma keep running cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
It's always the right time to celebrate women and black women in particular.
It is an opportunity to show the nation and the world that we will act. It has been an inspiration.
You have the choice, and it is that choice that gives you power.
Vote. Vote like your life depends on it because it does.
That is what we need next. Action.
Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating Radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumari's Meditation Museums, where peace is inside. Shanti everyone, welcome to your Spiritual Vaccine Hour. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. I remembered I was giving a lecture a few years ago, and after all these eloquent, amazing speakers were done and it was my time, I went up on the stage and I said, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, Om Shanti, good evening, what's up? And then the whole audience just released themselves. They had such just this energy of release came over the whole audience of thousands of people, and I just loved basking in that vision and in that moment and in that energy of positivity. I think we're reaching a point that we're almost a little bit tired of listening. We actually really want to feel more than what we hear. And it's not to say that we're disregarding individuals, maybe like myself, who show up every night to basically have a conversation, to sit in the living room together, maybe sipping tea, making dinner, maybe going out for a jog, maybe just driving in the car, going from one place to another. And we feel a resonance. We feel a resonance with Spiritual Vaccine. You feel a resonance with the energy of the people behind the scenes. Or maybe you're just scrolling through and you went, stop, what's that? Looks different. And maybe you stay, or maybe you go. But nonetheless, we're pretty sure that something positive, something will touch you in some unique way. That's what tonight's about, becoming an instrument for positivity, doing it especially in times of change. You've heard me say this before. Some of us change when there's deep love felt. Fall in love, see how your life changes. Sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much. Or endure a tragedy or something traumatic and see how much your psyche changes. Change is inevitable. We all have to change. Do you wish to change through love, or would you rather change through something tragic? I want to definitely keep changing because of love. I want to meet somebody new and look at their being and connect to their souls and remember Baba as I'm talking to them so that I can learn something more about myself. Did you know that every time you meet a person and you talk to a person and you remember God while you're looking at that person and vibing into their being, you are learning something about yourself? Did you know that? Did you know that every time you choose to do that, you're getting deeper and you're becoming more honest with who you really need to be? And that's something we don't do a lot. We don't practice soul-conscious vision on each other a lot. We look at the gender, we look at the color of the skin, we look at the hair, we look at the eyes, we look at the clothes. Then we start to ask, so where you work at? You know? Then we start to ask, so how much money you think comes in on that every year? So who do you know? Where have you been? What have you been up to? Then we go more into all the role playing and the titles and all those different things. Now imagine this, everyone. Imagine this just for a minute. Imagine we're at the tail end of a reel and things are moving really fast. Do you want to rewind and go back? Or do you just want the tape to be finished and we start over anew? What's your thoughts? Feel free to put it in the comments section. Whether you're watching on Facebook, and we love all of you on Facebook, whether you're listening or watching on Twitter or on YouTube. You're on a reel. It's going fast. It's coming to an end. Do you want to stop it to go back? Or do you want it to finish playing out, flip it over, or just start anew? What do you think the soul would prefer? I found that change doesn't necessarily always means that I'm going backwards. Sometimes if you look at the power and the force of change, it's actually trying to pull you forward. But we keep going back. We keep going back to where we're comfortable. We keep going back to where we think the solution is. But for some reason, the destiny of the universe has opened up an opportunity for you to be present right here and for you to see a different tomorrow to move you forward. But what do? We go back. We don't believe that when the reel comes to a close, something new is going to open up. We go back to what we're familiar with. I don't necessarily believe that's always positive. It feels like going in a garbage can and taking out old food and trying to eat it. We were out today and we came in, and actually we were out, and while we were driving in DC on 16th Street, we weren't sure. We passed by this restaurant and there was a young man who had opened up the garbage kind of a protective section, the grill, and then check out the garbage. And we just, myself and Dr. Kogod just looked and said, oh, must be cleaning the garbage can. But then he went inside the garbage can. And then he looked like he was reaching for something that perhaps he thought might be there, which was food. But I looked at the scene and I also looked at the people who passed him by, not many, because everything is still closed down in DC. And I looked at him, and as we were driving off, and it was obvious that he might be somebody that's living on the streets. He seemed like he couldn't be more than 40, but he was in a garbage can, searching for something. And as we drove off, and I looked at that young man, and people passing by, some were chopping with the food, some was on the phone, and I said, and we don't stop to help, huh? That was my first thought. But then my second thought, as I straightened up my vision to look forward, was, but even if we tried to help, would he be open to receive? There must be a reason why he's digging in the garbage. Prior to getting to that place, was he digging in his past so much that he couldn't move into a future? So what I saw wasn't somebody suffering. What I saw was someone who somehow felt sustained or somehow is being served by digging in the memories of their past. There's something that they're hoping to feel, to experience, to attain from something of the old. And the universe and the law says, I can't give you what you're looking for. It's not in your yesterdays. It's in your tomorrows. When you become an instrument for positivity and change, you become very knowledgeable and wise to know your answers will come in your present and your tomorrows, never in your past. Never. Each time you harp on what did happen, should have happened, could have happened, you get stuck and you're stepping into a negative realm. It's okay if we're sitting around and we talk about a wonderful story Santosh was sharing today around dinner. He got his wonderful job in Bombay from Hyderabad, and it was his first time Bombay was kind of rough, and he decided he was going to buy new shoes, to go to his job, and he had his 2 little suitcases, and one train passed by, okay, he'd wait for another train came, and that was also packed. He was waiting for another. He goes, well, he's got his 2 little suitcase and his new loafers. Okay, don't forget the new shoes. Another train comes by and it passed by because it's so packed. He goes, that's it. And if those of you who know Santosh, his volume of being upset and angry might be a 3. We go to like 100 decibels, right? He goes to like, okay, now I'm really not really happy. You're like, okay, woo, we're really scared, brother. So please visualize this. Holding a suitcase, the last train comes. He goes, that's it. I'm getting in this one. So he decides to move in the train. And he's speaking in Hindi, and he's kind of telling the people, could you move in so I could move in? And in Hindi they're telling, "Ao Joe, come, ow. And he goes, how do you want me to come? You're not moving. I want you to move so I can come in the train. So it turns out that he's telling us upstairs it's an electric train, so they move pretty fast. So when they stop at the station, maybe they're open for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and they close the door and they head out. So he's trying to tell the guy, well, just move now. I have 2 suitcases, and don't forget my new loafers. And then he realizes nobody's moving. One leg is in, which was the one he was attempting to get on and into the train, and the other leg is out. And then he realizes the door is going to be closed. So he has to quickly... no doors, sorry, he says it just moves. So he pulls himself out of the door, which doesn't close, and he loses one of his new shoe. Do you know what Brother Santosh did, everyone? Please put it in the comments list if you can guess. If anybody guessed what Brother Santosh did right now, I'm going to send you a free meditation CD. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Everybody who's watching, what do you think Brother Santosh did when the train got ready to move off and there's 1 foot in the train and 1 foot on the platform and both hands holding the suitcase? Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Give me some answers. What's on YouTube? Tell me, Santosh. I don't have my phone with me today. What do you all think he did? Whoever gets it right gets a free meditation CD. And I'm going to put in a special free book.
People writing.
Dun, 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 dun. Who's going to get that free meditation CD? All right. What do you think Brother Santosh, who has 2 degrees in engineering, 1 for electrical, and hasn't been able to be successful at screwing in a light bulb so far, 2, an IT computer science engineer, what do you think Brother Santosh did? Let's see. Wendy Cummins. Okay, Wendy, he got out of the train. You might get half of the meditation CD. Okay. Ah, Dhiraj, he threw the other shoe. Dhiraj, you're the winner. How did you know this? Okay, I'm going to have to give it this answer. So let me see. I'm going to have to give a lot of free CDs today. No problem. Okay. So what are the tools for staying humble? Okay, let me get the answer. So Tina said he jumped out of the train. Yes, he had no choice, so he was going to be split in 2. He let go of the other one. Bryn, yes. So put everybody's name down. I promise I'm going to mail you a free CD tomorrow. So email us. If I call your name and say yes, email at meditationmuseum@gmail.com, and we'll mail you your free CD tomorrow. So Bryn, he let go of the other one. That was a good answer. Ping, ping. 2, Tina, he jumped out of it. Ping, ping, you got a CD. So the other one, Marissa says he threw away his other loafers to match. Exactly. So Marissa, you got that one. So another CD goes to Marissa. So he put the other shoes on the train. Close, but no cigars. He threw his other shoe. Yes, Dhiraj, you're right. He took off the other shoe. Elizabeth, you are also right. He threw the other shoe also. Yes. So Meenakshi, you also get a free CD. He got out of the train. Yes, Wendy, he did that. Okay, Ade, he jumped for the shoe. That would have been exciting. But Ade, even though you didn't get it right, let's give you a free CD for getting close enough. I can empathize with Brother Santosh. Mumbai station and trains are no joke. Maybe he left his other shoe. Yes, he did. So he left the other side of the shoe. That's right, Julie Johnson. You get a free CD. Oh, I love this one. Threw himself forward in the train. Jennifer Scotland. Can you just see little Santosh, Jennifer, with his 2 suitcases and the train is going, and then he goes, oh, I better get off, and then he loses his one shoe, and then as the train is flying, he says, oh, I give up on this train. He throws the other shoe. I tell you, it's just the best world. It's the best world. So Jennifer Scotland would be happy to send you a free meditation CD as well. So please send us your address. He went on without the other shoe. He sure did. All right, so we're going to stop it. Drop the other shoe too. Ranju, you're right. Oh, this is a good one, Julie Johnson. Santosh, you ready? Julie said, you're so positive that you try to hold the train back on second thought. So he chucked the other shoe and went shoeless. Nimi Ravi? Exactly right. You get a free meditation CD. He had to forget the other shoe and you threw it out. That's right, Nikhil Kumar Joshi. Wonderful answers. I don't know how Facebook is doing, but if you get all these answers right, isn't that true though? How interesting. You can become an instrument for positive change without you even knowing, because who knows how many people were witnessing this young man with his suitcase standing there so patiently watching the trains go by. Train number 2. Train number 3. That's it. I'm gonna hop on this train no matter what. He doesn't make it and then decides to just move on. All right, Facebook. He started anew. That's right, Darlene Foster. Let's go for it. We'll send you definitely a new CD. He got on the train with one shoe. Damon, I'm sorry. You ain't getting no CD. No, he didn't this time. He jumped to get the other shoe. Don't we wish he did? He didn't. He left the train. That's true, Betty Brown. He sure did. All right, so that's wonderful. All right, so everybody who got a thumbs up, please send us your mailing address, full name and mailing address, and we'll mail you out your free meditation CD tomorrow. It'll be our pleasure. Compliments of us, definitely onto you. You can be an instrument for positivity in so many ways. You have no idea. Opportunities will come to you in ways that you can never imagine. There's another story that Santosh had told us too. It's Bombay experiences, because we were talking about India this evening. And apparently there is a drunk guy on the train tracks. A lot of Santosh's adventures happen on the train track, where he practices to be an instrument for positive change. It's so wonderful, isn't it? So there was a young man on the train track, and apparently he was maybe sick or something, and he realized that this man could get hit by the train. Remember that story? So Santosh innocently is like, oh, why isn't nobody helping this man? But look, the train is coming. He's going to get hurt. Somebody should help him. So he decided to go onto the track, right? Or go out to reach for this man to protect him. So he was the closest one to this man, and he decided that he would go to rescue this guy on the train track, only to find out this was a man who was inebriated with alcohol, and he was actually a drunkard. So nobody wanted to go and save this man, and they were looking at Santosh. What's wrong with you, boy? Leave him. But he's drunk. You're going to get killed saving a drunk man, and he's going to live, and you're going to die. Come on, boy. What is wrong with this boy? They kept calling him. And Santosh is looking, trying to understand, what are they saying to him? Can somebody help? The man is going to die. Everybody, no, you're going to die. He lives on the tracks. He knows the tracks better than you. And it was like an innocent story where he really went to save this guy, and he hadn't even thought that something was wrong with him emotionally, or that he was an alcoholic and he was drunk. His state of innocence or positivity was such, it didn't matter if he was drunk. Help him. Somebody should help him. So how many of you have stories where you have been instruments for positivity when maybe a change was needed? Can you imagine what it must have been like to be Lord Krishna, that little playful little kid back in the day? And then when he grew up into being a wonderful little naughty teenager, but then he started to grow into a real man and understood the value of living a life of character, honesty, integrity, love, generosity, all the virtues that would have emerged in this man. It set the tone, sets such a tone. Santosh is like our little Krishna, and we're still celebrating Janmashtami, and so our studios in India, Godlywood, did this beautiful rendition of a song that was composed over 20 years ago in English about the whole understanding of what it's like when the energy of Krishna was actually on the land. That his presence created such positivity. It was like the opening of a golden age. It was like the time when paradise and everybody was peaceful and loving and kind and everything was heavenly. I hope we will get back to the, I hope and know the future will have these days awaiting us. Enjoy this little music video, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes.
In a world of heavenly beauty, in a world of happiness and joy, warm sunlight golden, calm nights are sweetened by the fragrance of jasmine. The sound of the peacocks in the mornings like melodious trumpets. The children of the sun rise to play with Sri Krishna. Krishna was the first prince of the land of divine kings, and he is coming back again. Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you play with Sri Krishna again? Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you be a Sri Krishna again? It's the time of the birth of Sri Krishna. Oh, it's joy to the world. The cycle of time has spun completely, and Sri Krishna is coming back again. Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you play with Sri Krishna again? Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you be a Sri Krishna again? Sri Krishna is coming again. So will you play with Sri Krishna again?
Happy Janmashtami, everyone, all the way from Washington, D.C. What a powerful time to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. It's our time to go inwards and get rid of all the dark parts in our consciousness that are still getting in our way. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. It's symbolic. It's symbolic that this is the time that we celebrate the birth and the emergence of virtue so that we can destroy all of those negativities and take them out of our personality. Look at Krishna, so beautiful, so pure, so sweet, has everything in the character that just says, wow, I want a baby like that, or I want to be like that. So let this be the Janamashmi year for you to remove all weaknesses, all limits, all shadows. Have a wonderful day today. Take care.
I just love those images of those Sri Krishnas. Which one was your favorite? I love the one that looked like Sister Gita, the one that was purple with the nice fancy hairdo. Yesterday she found some blonde wig that was from a Halloween party or some masquerade thing, and she dressed to the nines with her blonde wig and her jacket, and she was just working it yesterday. We didn't know what personality, what lifetime she had gone back to, but we just let her do it. And she was enjoying it. And I've never seen somebody wear a blonde wig with so much confidence, you know. And it was me watching her doing that without even a flicker of self-doubt that taught me something. She was an instrument for positivity for me yesterday. I couldn't put on a blonde wig and work it with such confidence, but she did. She had on her blonde wig, and she walked around the house, and she walked outside. Our neighbors are the owners of FedEx, and so I saw them pull over to talk to her, and I saw the big laugh on her face, and I was like, only Sister Gita can wear a blonde wig from a Halloween costume and make somebody happy. Instrument for positivity. I don't know, folks. It's not always about being what we think is the perfect rendition of who we are supposed to be for people. I think if we really deeply go inwards and go to Baba and allow those thoughts and feelings emerging because of our love connection to Baba, I think we might just end up to be more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Whether we wear a fake Halloween costume blonde wig and make people smile, or we come in a power suit and wake up the world. I don't know. But I know it has a lot to do with the way you feel about yourself. The way you feel about yourself will make you into an instrument that can make other people feel the way you're feeling. If you are feeling angry and negative, it could be a positive thing in the sense that maybe if somebody sees you in that condition all the time, they go, that's not the person I want to be. Yes, it's negative. The vibrations on positive people don't like it. But then they just might say, that's not what I want to be. It turned out to be an opportunity rather than a sorrow, a pain, a crisis. Positivity has everything to do with the way you see your circumstance. If you keep feeding your circumstance at the level that it's at, that's exactly where you'll stay. The question is, what would you like? What is the vision that you wish to co-create and eventually wake up in? You're going to have to train your thinking to go beyond your current circumstances if you wish to become an instrument for something positive. Whenever energy starts, it's going to have a lot of energy. It's going to have creativity. It's going to have enthusiasm. But it goes through a process of beginning, middle, and end. And when you're sometimes in the middle, it feels like a, kind of uncomfortable place. It's like a growing phase. But when something's coming to an end, let it go. And especially when something new starts to open up for you, let it go and move on. I've done it my whole life. When I was transferred from New York to Washington, D.C., and Daddy Janki told me to come here, I was sitting in meditation on a Wednesday night. 7:30 I came down. The president of the Brahma Kumari, Sister Meeni, said the next day I was going to go to Washington, D.C. and open up a center. I said, oh, okay. She says, how do you feel? I said, if you have faith in me, I'll do it. Okay, that was it. Next morning, got up, did meditation, packed my suitcases, got into a bus, and went to a place I had never been before. I had never been to Washington, D.C. before. Never. And I've been here for 20-something years. I never looked back. I had no desire to look back at New York, no desire to be connected to the people that I left behind. I was here. What's needed now? What do I need to co-create? I must be a reason why I'm on this land. This land needs me to plant seeds, needs me to nurture it, give water, give it sun, be patient, watch it grow. I'm here now. That's all I know. And there was a person who had actually joined me about 2 months later. And I think they stayed with me for about 3 or 4 years. And every day, all she wanted to do was to go back to New York. She was never happy. Not happy here, not happy there. Just wouldn't be present. What's my gift here? What's coming for me today? What's my gift? What's trying to find me? That's what I love about Einstein, you know. He said if you want a situation to change, if you've got a problem, and you want that problem to shift, you have to go 10 times above in consciousness to change that circumstance. You can't think about the circumstance with where you're at. Some of you knew I was going through my health situation, and I kept in my mind, I'm breaking through this. I'm not. I'm this. I'm good. I'm fine. This doesn't matter. But the fact that my mind is like, oh, I'm going to be beyond this. I'm going to get on top of this. That was so important for me, because why? Okay, so if I broke my little pinky, then why oh my God, I broke my pinky. My pinky. Pinky broke. Okay, I broke my pinky, but I've got 4 other fingers that can help me. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you waste your time on what's broken or what you have as your resource? That's what positivity is. Don't let the small things pull you back and put you into a hole that you lose sight on what the drama, the destiny, God, Baba, and your better self wants from you. You've got to start to believe there's something about you that is different, special. Especially if you've got Baba in your heart, guess what? There's no telling what can happen. There's just no telling. Are you all ready for some meditation? Ready to dive deep? Have a moment of reflection. Think about how you're doing life today. What's happening for you? What's up? What's new? So many changes are occurring in this particular time. It's incredible. Take a deep breath. Release. Breathe in again. Release. Breathe in again. Release.
The quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our life. And so it becomes very important to pay attention to the type of thoughts we are creating in our minds. A thought is a seed, and depending on the type of seed, so will be the flower and the fruit and even the fragrance. It's so easy to become negative that often we do not realize that we have absorbed ourselves in a negative attitude. We get stuck on what somebody said or did or should have done or didn't do. The negativity circulates in our mind over and over and over again, making us tired, heavy, even unhappy. We all want to be free of such thinking. How can I free my mind? How can I create a positive mind? First of all, let me go inside and talk to myself. let go. It doesn't matter. Forget it. Let the past be the past. With these thoughts, we are able to stop the circulation of negativity and not hold on. If we realize that thinking and rethinking negative incidents is not the method to put them right, then we start to become free. However, we get angry. We are overcome by a sense of injustice. We are afraid. And so the train of negative thoughts and attitudes gathers speed. Let me have the determined thought to have a positive thought, because positive thoughts create good feelings and a more tolerant attitude towards people. We cannot receive a positive output from a negative input. Let me realize that by blaming and complaining, nothing and no one is going to change for the better. So what to do? Think and act more positively, with more kindness towards others and even towards myself. Let me have patience in my words and compassion in my vision. A positive mind is created when we can tolerate, when we can accommodate and merge. To tolerate is to respect and accept differences between myself and others, understanding that everyone needs their space. Everyone needs to express in their own way. To accommodate is my generosity of heart, which does not focus on what is wrong, but is able to understand what is wrong and forgive it. To merge is to dissolve everything that is of no value anymore, to let it disappear from my mind, but also from my face, and there is no trace of anything negative. When the negativities are dissolved through love and courage, the mind is given a new breath. There is contentment and lightness. And if there are problems or difficulties, I then have the strength to tell my mind, be peaceful, be calm, see and value the positive, because it is there, even if you cannot see it right away. Be peaceful, be calm, see and value the positive.
Sometimes when I hear those meditations, they just hit home, because they remind me so much of the vision. You know, the vision of really knowing that we have what it takes. It's just that sometimes we just get impatient, you know, with the ultimate. We go, Yeah, I want this. Yes, I believe I deserve this. But then we just go back again. We fall right back to the old. Go right back into the old school. All right, so question times. If anyone has any questions or thoughts that they would like to share. All right, let's hear from Nikki. I like that. Remain positive and trust in and use what you presently have. Beautiful, Nikki. Glad you enjoyed that. Hi, Porsche. Om Shanti, Portia. So happy to be here. How is your arm, Portia? Is everything back in order? Everything is healed? I hope so. So Asmita, Om Shanti there. Thanks a lot, sister. Blessed to have Baba and you all for this vaccine of positivity. Daily, many, many thanks. Beautiful. Julie, wow, such a powerful message today. Having faith and trust in your present experience and knowing it is a birth of something great in our life. Absolutely. And don't forget that, Julie, I know all of this sounds like it's a little bit intellectual, like, oh yeah, sure. But I can assure you that if you just start with a little bit of practice, we're not going to get it right all the time because we're still in training. Believe it or not, we're still in training to become like a little Krishna or a little Radha or a little angel or a little, deity of some sort. So we're going to get tests. And because we get tests, those tests are actually there to help us to become experienced. Things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us. And the more we can understand that every uncomfortable situation I encounter is a gift and it's a blessing, and is trying to help me to become the best human being I can be, not just for me, but for the well-being of humanity, but also for the influence and the impact it will have on the generations behind me to follow. What are your dreams? Are they clear to you? Have you voiced them? Have you written them on paper? Do you give it to God, to Baba, and show Baba if this is who you are or who you will be, what you will become? Are you even clear on what you feel your future holds? I mean, you should be getting glimpses of it. But the more you focus on what you don't have, the more you focus on the past, the more you start to question and doubt your capacity, you're going to get stuck. Look, I'm not speaking just pretty words tonight. This is my life experience. Imagine coming from a background where, your dad's Indian, traditional, old-fashioned, straight-laced, really good, really decent, and a mother who's completely opposite to that. Seeing these two ways in which consciousness lives, not really knowing what the language is to understand. Is my mom right? Is my mom wrong? Is my dad right or is he wrong? I didn't have the language for any way possible to interpret, am I being taught positively by these two individuals that are my parents? And the only thing that I could resort to was, and I didn't know it at the time, but how can I find truth in the way my mother is? And how do I find truth in the way my father is? And accept them for who they are, but also know it's not me. When my father wanted to marry me off to an Indian guy when I was so young, I go, but that's not me. And everything in my being knew I wasn't going to be an instrument for that. I couldn't tell him. I couldn't convince him. But everything in my heart said, that's not me. Now, if I would look to my mother and she had a whole different plan, it was called the no plan. And I go, could you tell me what I should be? But there was no plan coming from there. So again, I had to turn inwards. And I had to become my own instrument of positivity. And so what did I see? Things on television, stories that you heard, people that you met along the way in life. You met some beautiful people, you met some ugly people. You met rich people, you met people who were not very wealthy. You met very religious people, you met people who were not religious. And in the meeting of all those people, like I said earlier on today, Each person that you meet, you go to Baba, you look at them with love in your eyes or just that soul-conscious vision. And every time you do this practice, you're going to learn more about who you are. Because you will get influenced by any wind that blows through. And the real influence comes from up above. You want to be an instrument? Talk to Baba more. Listen to what Baba says. Be active. Become present. What gifts are waiting for you right now? And what gifts are trying to present themselves to you right now, but you're stuck in the past? It's one thought. You and I are always one thought away from our freedom or lack of it. One thought away. Give that some thought tonight. Okay, my sweet sister Portia, let's hear how you're doing. We're all in this continual training. That's right, Portia. This is so important. I love your courage, confidence in yourself, and commitment to never giving up. Bravo! Bravo, Portia. It's beautiful. I love you. All right, Nimi, please teach us how to stay focused when our thoughts jump around like wild horses. Okay, so here's what I will tell you. The first and foremost thing is to identify the fact that you know, why can't my thoughts stay in one place? The first thing I'd like you to do, Nimi, can you promise me you'll just be honest with yourself that maybe the way you were spending the day before or the week before is that maybe you need to just refine. Am I living life based on desires? Are these desires driving me? Is it that I want so much out of life that I'm not able to put in the energy or the qualifications that are needed? So thoughts will jump around because maybe you're creating too many unwanted needs, or rather wants, desires. You don't need them. Your pre-recording of how grand and great you will become is already in you. The more silent you can become, the clearer the path will be for you to see what to do, when to do it, and with whom to do it to. So first and foremost, figure that part out. Okay? The second thing to do, breathe. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And when you breathe in, remember something that's good. Breathe out what's not good for you. Breathe in what's good. Breathe out what's not good for you. The third thing you can do, go in and find just one moment, just one aspect. What I like to start with, I am pure, I'm peaceful, I'm powerful. I say that over and over again whenever I have mental free time. I know it seems very, very, I don't know, amateur, but I don't need to be outgrown and I don't need to be too intelligent for myself. So when I find moments during the day, I'll just remind myself, you are pure, you are peaceful, and you are powerful, Jen. And I just say that, and I don't know when it will kick in, where it is an embodied reality, but one day it will. But try that. I can't give you any eloquent directions, but those 3 steps, I can guarantee it. It will help you, okay? All right. Yes, Jennifer, I'm glad that you like the spiritual vaccines. They're like balm to wounds. Yes, I agree. I like that. Remain positive and trust will be with you. That's great. The song that you heard, Tina, is actually the song, partial of the song that you're supposed to do the dance performance for this weekend. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to do it. It'll be on Zoom. You'll be able to master it, I'm sure. All right. Diraj, thanks for reminding us to talk to Baba more. It's so easy but so difficult to remember. Great. Nimi, I'm glad that that was helpful. Really, everybody, You can always trust that whenever Sister Jenna speaks to you, it's not going to just come from a book and literature just because it's the right things to tell you from a book that I've read or something. But it'll really, 95% of the time, it'll come from an experience of something I've practiced. I won't tell you if I didn't really do it. And the rest of the stuff is just to fill in the spaces. But I can assure you, if you want your thoughts to stop hopping around, check the way you're living during the day. If there are just a lot of waste thoughts and desires for things, when you sit for meditation, you will see the proof. You've not been focused or stable when you were walking and moving around. So just pay attention to those little things. Okay? We've all been there, so believe this or not, none of us are alone in our struggles. We will always have somebody to be there for us. And we're actually never alone. There's somebody going through something similar. There always is. Some of us can find a support group to give us help, but always know through the ethers, there is another brother or sister out there, a child of God, that is holding you because they're feeling the same thing. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight for your spiritual vaccine hour. Santosh, you have a video that you're going to play today for closing meditation, or okay. So it's always a delight to be with my family and friends around the globe. Your hearts are filled with gold. Your minds are pure. Your eyes, they sparkle. Your smile, gentle, lights up a room. Your innocence, the gift to humanity. You think about these things and think about how you can be an instrument for positivity. And if you find foreign thoughts, unnecessary thoughts coming into your way, just talk to it with the respect that you have for yourself. Say, you don't belong here, I'm so sorry. We were going out somewhere, me and Dr. Kogod, and Sister Gita was getting all dressed to come and join us. And Dr. Kogod just looked at Sister Gita with very much deep self-respect and said, I'm sorry, Sister Gita, but you can't come where we're going. But I want to. I'm sorry, you cannot come. Sister Gita just turned and walked up the steps, and I asked Kanu, could you come and live with us, please? We really need someone who she would listen to. She was such an instrument for positivity, and I loved it. Anyway, look, I'm not the only one going through situations like this. I know there's so many other children of God out there dealing with a parent or a loved one that is aging and not able to remember much of whoever they are, what they've been through, and I know that their behaviors have changed. And sometimes I wonder what it must be like for her to not feel herself anymore. And that's where I get a lot of my empathy and compassion. And sometimes when my virtues aren't there, because I've asked her 3, 4, 5 times very sweetly, and she acts like she doesn't hear me. And then I speak without virtues and she hears me. I don't like that for me. But then I'll go back and I'll say to Baba, what is it like to just can't find yourself inside of you anymore? And then I'll go to her room and rub her back and tuck her in and put her to bed and put Baba over her and give her unlimited blessings and vibrations and purity and peace and just leave. Last night she came to my room and she said, you don't come to my room anymore. I says, no, I do. I've just been tired the last 2 nights. And then she said to me, you don't come to my room anymore. You and Santosh don't come to my room anymore. And I said, how does she even have the intelligence to recall those things? I said, sister, I'm just needing a little rest at night. She sat on the bed. You going to come to my room tonight? I says, no, I'm not coming tonight. And some nights I'll push myself, and some nights I just can't. Sometimes you can be an instrument for positivity too, for yourself. Even if it doesn't please the other person, just make sure you also still look out for yourself. All right, so we'll close off. Maybe just a song, Santosh, because it's 7:30. Yeah? Sorry. Okay, Asmita, thank you again for a lot of your love and your care, everyone. It's felt very deeply by each and every one of you. We appreciate you very, very much. And we all love and trust you, Sister Jenna. You heal us inside and out. Thank you for presenting these magnificent meditation programs each night. All right, Praveen Bhai, thank you. Wonderful spiritual vaccine. Remembering Baba and keeping our desires in check. Thanks to Sister Geeta. Antonia, Brother Santosh. Beautiful. All right, everyone. As usual, we send you unlimited love, kindness, amazingness, beauty, and light. And I'll see you tomorrow night, okay? Lots of good wishes. Om Shanti.
If I had one wish, then what would it be? For each man and woman to live life in peace, to live without fear in a world that's secure. Some say it's a fool's dream, but I'm not so sure. I see all your faces on my TV, driven and hungry with eyes full of tears, mourning your children, fathers and friends, caught in a war that just never ends. How long will it be till your life is mine, and all I believe in has turned into lies? With all that I am and all that I have, I send you this token, this love from my Oh, I've seen a place much more than a dream, a place of such beauty it hurts just to see, a place of no pain, no crying,